Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year by the way. I hope you guys are having a fantastic year so far. Obviously I've been inactive for a while and that's because of school priorities. Like this December was a very busy time in college. But obviously we got through it and now we're back with another video. And in this video I'm going to be talking to you about the framework Django. How you can use it, how to get started, and everything about Django. I won't say that Django is a very complex framework. All I'll say is that it's a it's kind of complicated, and that's because it has so many different components, and it's very easy to lose track of what you're doing and where you're meant to be doing something. I'll use myself for example. When I only just learned Django like 2-3 months ago, and that's because I'm using it to do a project in school. I'm just gonna I'll show you the project as well. But when I started using Django, everything was just confusing because like Flask was literally straight up forward. Just create a file, set the routes, and then obviously you'll be able to see the route. But in Django, like it's so much like different to what Flask is. And don't worry, I'm gonna explain to you the basics of Django anyways. But before you actually make use of the framework Django, I suggest that you learn Flask a bit. A video of Flask is already on my channel. You can just check that out. So I suggest that you learn Flask, and that's because since Django is like a more complex version of Flask, if you learn Flask, you're able to like understand routing, different endpoints, and just the basics, if that makes sense. And obviously like you can use that knowledge and move on to Django, a more complex version. So what I did was that I actually just went there and made a new folder called Django tutorials. If you just check what you can just see that the folder is empty. So when using Django, it's recommended to use a virtual environment, and this is because since you're going to be installing different libraries and different components, you want them to only be available to Django, and you don't want them to be in your actual system, if that makes sense. So a virtual environment is just like a container that you can store different things in it. So I'm just going to paste the code to create a virtual environment, and that's it. And then you can just name this whatever you want to name it. So this can be anything. I'll just be like my virtual environment, and then I'll press enter, and then that creates a virtual environment for us in this folder. So once that has created the virtual environment, we can just check what's in the folder, and we can just see it's there. The virtual environment is there, and to activate the virtual environment, you just put script. Actually, you just go into that folder, then script, then activate. And then once that's activated, you'll be able to see my end where that means that your virtual environment is activated. And now you can install different components and different libraries in this environment, which will only be accessible to this folder. So now we can install Django, and to do that, this is the code right here. If you're on Mac, I think it's pip3 install Django, but if you're Windows, this is the code right here, and once you press enter, it installs Django inside this virtual environment. So once you've installed Django, you can just start a new project again. So I'll just name it this. So essentially what this is that you just put that Django-admin start project, and then the name of your project. I'm just gonna name this I'll just name this something new. I'll just be like Django tutorial, and then you press enter. So once you've written that code, you can just see what's in the file again, just to make sure that it's proper. And if you've been following this tutorial, you'll be able to see that the project you created is there. We can actually just view what's in the file right now. So you just put list Django and then Django again. So this is everything that's there. So to run this code, what you do is you go into that folder that you created, which is the name of your project. So mine is cd Django tutorial. cd Django tutorial, and then you make sure that the folder you're in has this manage.py, because that's what you're gonna like you need to be in this directory to be able to run the file. So what you do is Python, you type in Python, and then you press manage, and then you put tab, which is this manage.py, and then you put run server. Once that's done, you'll be able to see this. Don't worry about this for now, we'll talk about them later on. So to view this server, we just copy this link here, copy it, copy here, and then paste, and then you should see this thing. So we're actually not quite done yet. To be able to, like, create your own personal routes and everything, we have to create an app in this Django project. So what you need to do is just exit out of that and make sure you're in this manage.py route. Make sure that in the whatever directory you're in, you're able to see this manage.py, and then you paste this code here, py manage.py start app, and the name of any app and the name of the app. So me, I'll just name it something new again. I'll just be like I'll just name it my Django app. And then once that's done, if you go back there again, you'll be able to see your app there. So let's just open the VS Code right now actually. So I'm actually going to explain what the folders and the files and everything there is doing. So this is the project that you created. You can see this ASGI settings.py URL WSGI, and in this settings.py, this is where you're going to like be initializing the settings like database settings, URL settings, and all that. You're not going to do too many work in this project app, so don't worry about that. In this project folder, so don't worry about that. The main work is going to be done in your Django app. So this is admin.py, apps.py, models.py. This is where you'll be creating your database, which I'll be talking about in future videos. And this is the views.py. This is where you'll be creating your own personal routes. To be honest, like in my project so far, I only make use of these two the most. So for now, I don't think this test.py, apps.py, and then admin.py, like I don't think you need to worry yourself about that too much. And then this is the database that's initialized with the app. It's for running your file as well. You're not gonna need to be honest, like you're not gonna need to do any work in this, so you can just forget about that. And let me just go back into the terminal, and then list. Remember, when you're running your file, make sure you're always in this manage.py directory. And also remember when we was running the manage.py run server, you were able to see this, like you could see this unapplied migrations there. And what this essentially means is that any changes you make to the database, you need to migrate the changes and make migrations to the changes. And that's because when you're using the database, Django like does everything for you. All you need to do is write the code and then make migrations. So to do that, you just Python manage make migrations, and if you run that, no changes detected, and after that you just run the same code again, but instead of make migrations, you just run migrate, and then it applies all those changes to the database. So everything is already initialized in the database now. And then so before, you could see that in the database there was literally nothing there. So if I go back here again and then put list, you can see that the database is already initialized and everything is properly working. So when I run my code again and run the server and just open the file, you're able to see that the changes have gone and there's no errors again. So let me just run the app one more time to like just make sure everything is properly working. Manage run server, and then go back to these routes, and then if I just make a new one again, you can see that's properly working and everything is good. So that's it for today's video. In the next video, I'm going to be talking to you about routes, templates, and all those kind of things. The reason I didn't do it to this video is because when it comes to Django, like there's so much to talk about, and obviously you want to be focusing on one aspect rather than trying to learn everything at once, because if you're trying to learn everything at once, you're not going to learn anything. So if you feel that this is too easy for you, by all means, just feel free to like proceed and just like learn ahead of this video. So the website that I was using was this. So you just go to Django W3 Schools, and then everything is gonna like talk to you about like what to do next. But I'm gonna make a video on that anyway, so there's no need to worry for those of you that want to wait. Feel free to comment below how you feel about this, and just let me know what's up. See you in the next video. Bye.